Patty saw my transformation of Broadway from straight out of the box to 7 months old and the evolution of Broadway and asked me, how do I wash it? And I didn't think to add that, so I thought I would make this video to show you what I do with not just Broadway, but with all of them. So I have Heartthrob on today in Toffee, and I've got to put it up in a ponytail because it's still kind of warm out. I picked this basin up at the 99-cent store a couple of summers ago, but my oldest sister, 360 Cindy, she's new to wigs this year, and so in trying to teach her how to do the wigs the way I wash them, she went and she was able to get the same bucket at the 99-cent store, so they still have them available. So this is the basin I use. The first thing I do is I use Arm & Hammer, and I just shake a little into the bottom of the basin, so it covers it about like that. Just a little shake through. And then I turn the faucet on, cold water, all the way on, and I fill up the basin. And as I'm filling it up, I use about a quarter size of soap. This is the time I really want to back up, but I don't have one. And over the years, I've used several different kinds. So that's about the size that I use. And as I'm filling it up in the water, I am diluting it in the water. So it's getting it all a little sudsy, a little soapy. And then I take Broadway and I lay her down inside and I swish her around in the water. Really, really good. Swish her around really, really good. And I walk away from her for about 10 minutes. I leave her sit in there for about 10 minutes. And then when I get done with her, I rinse her out under the faucet really, really, really good. Get her all dry, rinsed out from the soap. And then I use Downy fabric softener. And I use about a whole cap in another basin of cold water. So I fill it back up, and then I put her back into the Downy, and walk away from her for about 10 minutes. Swish her around, make sure all of her fibers get nice and coated in the Downy, and then I don't rinse her off, I shake her out. I'll take her out to the balcony and hold her by the nape where the tag is and flick her out just like this. And then I might move over to the ear tab and flick her out. Move around towards the front and flick her out. And then she's pretty good by then, and hang her upside down to dry. And that's about it. She's ready to go, just like new. So I use this method on all of my wigs. It's pretty simple, and it gives me about the best results. It has changed the way I look at Saturday nights, and the old saying, I can't go out, I have to do my hair. So that's how I do mine. If you have any special tips or tricks that you use, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see if anyone else has any other ideas. I used to use all of the John Renault line with all of the products, but it was very expensive. And when I first started losing my hair again this time, I wasn't in a position to be buying the wigs, let alone all of the products to care for them. So that's when I went on a mission to find how to care for them as inexpensive as possible. And I found some YouTube videos several years ago, some really interesting creators at the time were doing a lot of cosplay and cosplay wigs for the different events that come up around the country, and restoring wigs. And I found a guy years ago. I've looked for him again and I can't find it, but he took a lady's wig that was just thrashed. I mean, I say mine's thrashed. This was unbelievable how bad it was. And I was just amazed at watching him restore it. It was like an hour-long video, like in 2015 or 16. And he showed me how to use Armor All in that way, in that video. And also to use the Arm & Hammer. And these were just techniques and tricks that he used at the time that I was watching those videos. And I could really get behind that because I didn't have, like I said, have a lot of money. So I did most of my shopping at the time through the 99-cent store. So I was able to get this for $1, the bucket for $1, and the downy for $1. And I was able to wash my wigs. And I've just been really satisfied with it ever since. I've seen a lot of shampoos come that I'd like to try, but boy, when I look at the price, even now that things are a little better for me, I just still that bargain girl, that drugstore girl at heart. I grew up with 5 and dime and don't have a problem shopping at the 99-cent store. So usually if I have a wig like this Broadway that I haven't washed in about 7 months, I'll wash it strictly by itself and not another wig behind it. But if I have a wig that's fairly new, that maybe I need to wash for one reason or another, like if we go out to eat at a place that smokes steaks or smokes food, it can absorb in the fibers, and I find that I can just smell that for a long time. I Febreze them down pretty good inside the cap, but sometimes those certain smells stay, and it kind of bothers me. So I can wash a couple right behind each other in a bath like this, if they're not extremely dirty, but ordinarily I just do them one at a time. Anyway, again, I'd love to know how you wash yours. If you have any special suggestions or tricks or tips, please let me know. That's why I use the Armor All as my silicone spray, because it's straight silicone with no alcohol, and doesn't hurt them, and it's the least expensive and does the very same with no odors. So anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.